on the 51 truck of Eric Almirola in the middle of that turn, and he was still wiggling around. So Ron's truck just might be a little bit loose in general. And loose is fast here. This is a place where you really need to have a free truck in order to be able to pick up the pace. It's a big short track field. The straightaways are really long, and the corners, you drive them just like a short track. You get on the brakes hard, get to the bottom, and try to hold it there.
Austin Dillon takes over that 6th spot from Johnny Sauter. Brian Eichler, I mean, right now behind Johnny Sauter.
Looks like Brian is thinking the same thing. Austin needs to get around Johnny Sauter. Johnny's holding these guys up a little bit.
Ray Dunlap, what have you got?
Well, for the 3 truck right there in the front of that frame, Rick, he's loose off the center, and they need to make another air pressure adjustment. He said the last change that Danny Stockman made was not quite enough. He wanted to have just a little bit more. That is for Austin Dillon. Now, right behind him, it is a really good battle going on there between the 13 and the 18. The problem for Johnny Sauter, terrible loose. He said it's the loosest this truck has ever been since he's been driving it. And as Phil said in the top of the show, both of Johnny Sauter's wins have come in this truck, but he is not happy at all tonight with that truck. And here goes a move for the 18. We'll see how his trucks respond, and we'll check in with Adam.
And I think they feel like if they can get around Sauter, they can continue their drive to the front. He has complained very little about that race truck tonight. And we should remember, this is the same vehicle that Kyle Busch had here back in April when he led some 131 of 150 laps in winning from the pole.
Battle for 4th. Eric Almirola in front of Mike Skinner now. Got a pretty impressive top 5. Todd Bodine has a championship. Timothy Peters won at Daytona earlier this year. Ron Hornaday has 4 championships. Eric Almirola 2 wins already on this season. And Mike Skinner, well, he's got a championship in this series as well.
And he's led the most laps here 3 times and wasn't able to get to victory lane in any one of those 3 events where he led the most laps. So Mike's been fast here, but hadn't figured out the combination of getting to victory lane.
You know, guys, we had run 13 races when we came into this race. Kevin Harvick had started 4 races this year. Kyle Busch had started 7 races this year. And between the 2 of them, as we talked about, Michael, at the top of the show, how when those guys are racing, you know they're going to be contenders. Combined, they've led over 40% of the laps this year in the first 13 races.
Pretty impressive when they are at the racetrack, but right now the most impressive is Todd Bodine. Todd Bodine out in front of Timothy Peters by 3.5 seconds. Timothy Peters still trying to reel him in that last lap. 1/10 of a second faster. Johnny Sauter a little loose there as contact was made.
Tried to stay as close to that lap truck as he could, and
maybe a little too close.
Should have given him a little bit of margin for error there.
Lorraine Karthikeyan in the 60 truck, now 2 laps down to the field.
He just made an unscheduled pit stop about 5 laps ago.
Ray made some contact with Joanna Long early in the race, messed her night up. He's been able to continue. It looked like there was a lot of damage done to his truck in that accident, but something isn't right. I thought I saw something dragging on that truck a second ago. 2 laps off the pace for Narain, making laps, learning.
Yeah, he was in the lead lap when he made that unscheduled pit stop 5-6 laps ago. You see some sparks right there. Right in front of Johnny Sauter now and Matt Crafton. That's the battle for the 8th position.
Lorraine Karthikeyan actually won a Super League race last week.
How high Matt Crafton goes in the corner and gives Narain plenty of room down on the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Kenny Schrader. He's going to join this battle between teammates. Sauter and Crafton running 8th and 9th. Schrader in 10th. He's going to try to see if he can do something with these guys.
You know, Schrader has been this season kind of that quiet competitor. You never really notice him until all of a sudden we get down to the last 30, 40 laps. And here comes Kenny Schrader, and he gets a top 10 or a top 5.
Well, I talked to Schrader about this opportunity. He loves driving Kevin's truck. And he just wants to, he said, I hadn't run a whole lot on the NASCAR circuit lately. I want to spend half the race learning what the truck wants, trying to make sure I'm around for the end of the race. So very observant, Rick, you're right. And that's my plan. That's the way Schrader goes about these races. And he's had 3 straight top 10s and 2 straight top 5s. So he's got it figured out.
Ray, what else can you tell us about that 2 team?
Well, just wanted to add, Rick, that he's driving a truck tonight that Ron Hornaday used at Iowa. Now, they didn't have good results there got a 24th, but it's one of their newer chassis at KHI. And Hornaday said he really liked the way the truck ran on the racetrack. And Schrader and Butch Hilton seem to be very, very happy with the way this thing was in practice. But at night, it has just been a totally different truck for Schrader. He's not able to get through the center at all the way he wants to, but they're very happy to have Moore's Marinade on the truck tonight. And it's been interesting each and every week. New sponsors coming on board for both the 2 and the 33. So KHI doing their dirty work out there, getting lots of great sponsors. So welcome to Moore's Marinade for the Team 2. Adam?
As you would expect, Timothy Peters has been pretty quiet on the radio this evening. About 10 laps ago, he came on and said, "Here she comes." Jeff Hensley said, "What?" He said, "Here she comes," referring to his truck and how much better it gets as the run continues. He did say, however, about 5 laps ago, he needs to be tightened up in the center of the corner, so the next pit stop will likely result in a chassis adjustment for Timothy Peters, who rides second behind Bodine.
I'm telling you, I really expected Timothy Peters to maybe cut into that lead Todd Bodine has, but they've been matching pretty well lap for lap. And as a matter of fact, the last time Todd Bodine ran about 0.2 of a second faster than Timothy, that may be the fastest lap Todd's run in the last 10.
So Todd Bodine continuing to put trucks a lap down. We have 14 on the lead lap. Ryan Sieg running 14th. He's the last truck on the lead lap. Todd Bodine, Timothy Peters, 1 and 2. Hey, race fans, Sunoco's Free Fuel 5000 is back. Just get your Sunoco decal, put it on your car or truck, get spotted, and win. We've got spotters visiting every participating Sunoco. And if we see you with it while you're there filling up, you'll win one of thousands of instant prizes and a shot at the grand prize, 5,000 gallons of Sunoco fuel. For more information, go to GoSunoco.com. Todd Bodine, 5 seconds in front of Timothy Peters, but that all goes away because the caution has just come out.
Well, this will put everybody in their window. Right now we're showing 43 laps to go. We know these guys can run somewhere between 65 and 70 laps, so they're all going to come to pit road here, put some tires on, and then have maybe about a 40-lap shootout.
Todd Bodine was pulling away from these guys, but everybody needed to come to pit road one more time, so that changes the complexion of a race. We know now they can do it under caution, contemplate some adjustments, what they're going to do to their truck to try to chase down Todd. His truck in the second half of the race was mirroring what Timothy Peters looked like in the first half. These guys have switched roles.
Debris on the racetrack brings out the 4th caution of the evening with, as you mentioned, just 43 laps of racing to go. So it will be a race on to pit road to see who can get on and off pit road the quickest. Right now, just 13 trucks on the lead lap, but we believe there will be an Aaron's lucky dog.
Yeah, it's going to be
Ryan
Sieg when we have it. These guys are coming to pit road, though.
On to pit road they come, led by Todd Bodine. Adam?
And Timothy Peters right behind him, Rick. And his crew chief, Jeff Hensley, said, "Okay, here we go, boys," trying to get the pit crew ready for what will be the money stop on the night. You see Peters in the 17 center of your screen. He said he needed to be tightened up in the center of the corner. They will make a slight adjustment to this race truck, 4 tires and fuel, and he will be good to go the rest of the way. To Ray Dunlap.
Adam, you see on the bottom of the screen, Ron Hornaday, when they started that last run, they had taken too much air pressure out of the tires. Took too long for it to come in, so they'll pump them up a little bit. Top of your screen, pit stall number 1, the Germain Toyota. They're going for 4 tires here. They're going to put gas in this thing. No adjustments for Todd. He'll easily be the first one off pit road, and Austin Dillon's going to gain some spots. He'll be the second one off of pit road ahead of the 17.
Great pit work for Austin Dillon. Gains 3 spots. You see Brian Eichler up to the 5th spot, gains 2 spots.
Todd Bodine. He has 42 laps. He's got to stay in front of Hornaday, Almirola, Austin Dillon, Matt Crafton, and of course Timothy Peters, who's been strong all day long in Nashville. Next Saturday, be at Darlington Raceway when the tough trucks of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series return to the track. Too tough to tame. Purchase a specially priced Speed Open Garage ticket package and go inside the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series garage. Visit speed.com. Keyword promo to purchase your Speed Open Garage ticket package today.
There's our lucky dog right there, Ryan Sieg.
He was on the lead lap, and the leaders come around and lapped him and gave him, put him a lap down, give him the lucky dog. I'm going to tell you, James Busher has been the Aaron's lucky dog for 90% of the race as we're running, but when the caution flies, he's